Yaga. I don't have my microphone, but I'm hoping my headphones will act like a microphone for this. So this Wells Nolan situation, I wanted to just do my 2 cents on it. When you awaken, these things that are happening, I don't really think they're real. I think these things are created to make division, to create the divide, us, them, we, black, white, blue, red, whatever. When you look at a child, like a child comes into this world, and this happened with my parents. My parents didn't raise me like you're black. Now, in 2026, going on in the future, I think as a survival mechanism, it's not a bad idea to raise children in terms of their race, in terms of, what you can do, what you can get away with, what scenarios. Because even with me, what I found is when I'm at 9 to 5s and stuff, my behavior isn't per se as a second-rate citizen or second-rate member of society. And I'm also outraged when people treat me that way. Like when people treat me based on my race, I'm outraged. But in 2026, and from history, I shouldn't really be outraged. I shouldn't be shocked. I should be working in a way where it's a behavior that I expect. When I see another video where I think Marquette Burton was talking about DJ Khaled, and DJ Khaled, there was a lady saying to him to say, free that country, and why wouldn't he say it? And I saw it from that woman's point of view until I see this video. The video was saying basically he's not saying it because he's going to be hurt financially if he says those words publicly, and he's got to look after his family, etc. Now, when I'm in many 9 to 5s and I see the way people who look like me behave, they behave in a, I'm born here by the way, born in the UK, they behave in a way where they're very accepting of a lot of treatment. And for me, I think some of that could be because they are the ones that are on code. I know this sounds crazy. They're the ones that are on code, and I'm the one that is the abnormal one. When in a perfect world, in a utopia, we should all be treated equals. And that's where a lot of this bigotry, fear comes from, because a lot of these, they say right wing, or these people who talk about immigration, their energy is coming from the idea of, if we become a minority, if these people take over in our position, they're going to do to us what we do to them. We're going to subjugate them. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. And this is probably, I'm speaking generally, I'm going to let you in a secret. People who look like me don't have that coding. Yeah, we don't have that coding. And but I don't have to spell it out. When you're with children who don't look like me, and there's people who look like me around, the child will behave, he'll behave like he's safe, comfortable, because in effect he is safe, he is comfortable, he doesn't, he's not in any danger, mainly speaking. The parents from afar will be looking like, oh my God, I need to protect my toddler or my child from this tall man who looks like me. In effect, that child that's there isn't actually thinking anything, and the man who looks like me isn't thinking anything either. He's literally just living life. He hasn't got any thoughts. He's got no mindset which goes with what they're thinking. So this is a coding that we just don't have, generally speaking. And if you know, if you're abroad, like I've been in my country in Africa, and there are people from other nations there, generally speaking, we're very welcoming, we're not gatekeeping anything. You're allowed to have many freedoms to an extent, okay? So obviously there will be certain things where you might not be able to do, like you might not be able to hold certain positions, rightly so, in those places, because those are those places. But more than not, than what people like me look like in these Western world countries, you got a lot of freedoms. So with this boy who, whatever happened to him happened, and he's ended up passing away. If it's, whatever the story is, rest in peace, if it is. But it's, to bring on this whole, thing of, these people are separate to these people and people are different, when in a matter of fact, we are one nation. That being said, we want our kids, if you have kids, to survive. And surviving is being aware. It's being aware. If you're aware that somebody's trying to come and get rid of you, there's more chance you can survive. There's more chance you can maybe avoid going to that place where I've made this mistake a lot of times, but going against my intuition. But you have to go with your intuition. If it means not going to that place where you're going to be in danger, then don't go. But I have to reiterate this point about the coding. And maybe in the future things can change, but currently as things are, if we're around people who don't look like us, and there's one of them with us, and the majority of us who look like me are having a party, in our own country, in our own house, or we don't have this coding of changing to create some kind of harm against you. And it's very important that people speak up against this. I think there was a video where she was saying, these people, they don't like our beauty, they don't like us doing well, they don't like our intelligence, and that may be true to an extent with some. I don't think everyone is like that. I believe that there's a great number of people who have these beliefs, but that coding is, I believe that is, a lot of them have this coding, this kind of, what's the word that you would use? This kind of dominate, taking over, kill, steal, destroy. What's the other one? This kind of lack. We don't think like this. We don't have that vibe. This lack, this how can I say it? It's either you or me, you must. We don't think like that. We don't have that vibe. I promise you, anywhere you go, you'd be welcomed. People will make you a plate. You can be invited to the cookout. You can join, even like the social activity groups that I do, predominantly black people, people that look like me. And you have white people there, but they're welcomed, they're part of the family. And even to bring up another topic, I was with a young man, and we were skating together, having a nice time. I was sort of telling him, telling him well done, and being very positive towards him. And then another day I was at the park and his parents were there. And as his parents were there, he never spoke a word to me. So that told me that it wasn't the fact that he didn't want to acknowledge me, but he knew that his parents wouldn't be happy seeing him speaking and making friends with people who look like me. So it's very sad state of affair. I want to make a longer form on this sort of topic, that in 2026 people hold these views, but I believe that it's more than a view. I believe that it's a code that, has been passed down generation. I believe it's a code that people can't help. It's a kind of like record that plays in their minds, in their small brains, in their minds. I've got patterns that I'm still working on, but it's never the pattern that if I'm the majority, I need to snuff out someone who doesn't look like me. It's never the mindset of how can I monetize someone else's resources? How can I trick someone? How can I manipulate someone out of that position? It's never that. And I believe generally, if you look at people who look like me, people of color, black and brown people mainly, we don't have that code. And it's important. It could be something going forward that we may need to protect and provide for future generations. We may have to adopt certain measures and put things in place so generations come after us can be safe, can be protected, can be aware that when you are in these positions, when you are in these scenarios, you have to be very on point. You have to know that where you're going. Can you swim back? Can you fight? Are you the smallest person? Are you have an intimidating presence? Do you have enough money to pay for your own cab? Do you have your own money to pay for your own food? All these things that normally you wouldn't have to think, but because of this event and because of recent things that happened, we have to be open. We have to be cognizant that not everybody's thinking like us.